Thank you. We also have Jeff Ewan, who's Senior Advisor for the District 3 County Board of Supervisor Terra Lawson-Remer.
Hello, my name is Jeff Ewan, and as Mandy mentioned, I'm a representative with County Supervisor Terra Lawson-Remer. And so I'm here just to clarify on behalf of the Supervisor's Office. Unfortunately, the Supervisor urged repeatedly for County Housing and for County Behavioral Health Services staff to be here at tonight's council hearing. We thought it was really important. Unfortunately, they refused to come, which we're really disappointed by. But nonetheless, the Supervisor and our team have been meeting with, as many of you have, with concerned residents, with the city, with the development team, and Affirmed, with the police department, and really appreciate the strong collaboration and the data, the emphasis on the data that has been shared. It's our understanding that we are, to those three recommendations that Chief Williams offered, that we are closing down on a pathway to at least one of them, which is for a firm to add a second security guard so that both locations, both buildings could be fully secured and fully staffed in those evening hours. Supervisor Lawson-Remer strongly supports adding this second security guard and is fighting hard to make sure that we're able to make that happen from the county perspective. We're also working hard with the county team to make sure that the right level of care is provided. Mandy Mills mentioned about level of care, and we have definitely heard the concerns from neighborhood residents, families who frequent Pine Park, and others in the community. In response to many of these community concerns and the ongoing dialogue from many of the partners here, you saw in the presentation, we are really pleased, and Supervisor Lawson-Remer is really encouraged to see that the case management services have been increased from 1 day a week up to 2 days a week in February, up to 3 days a week now, and most recently, a clinician is now added to the care team, 8 hours per week. So we think and really encourage that building out that care team will help facilitate some of these connections to care and get people the right level of service. I just want to emphasize that all residents who qualify for and want additional services can and will be referred to additional services. These are voluntary, so unfortunately we can't force people. We can't force people into them, but they're actively offered to folks, and sometimes it takes time, and that's partly why it's encouraging that we have a lot more hours with on-site case management to help make those connections happen. We've heard some very real worries from our office being expressed. The supervisor wanted to reiterate that public safety, especially the well-being of children and the most vulnerable members of our community, is a top concern. She's also strongly committed to ensuring that people who are on our streets or are in tents are able to get off the streets and connected to the services and treatment that they need. So she's really focused on ensuring we can get to some practical solutions here and get the situation at Windsor Pointe, moving forward. I think it's clarified in the presentation, but we wanted to reiterate that the County of San Diego doesn't control any of the land or lease terms, but the supervisor is committed to addressing any of the issues that can be addressed through the county's levers, including through the No Place Like Home funding. And again, in my capacity, I represent Supervisor Lawson-Remer's office. I can't speak on behalf of County Housing or Behavioral Health staff, but I do want to reiterate the commitment from our office to work together with all the partners here to find creative solutions and to do everything we can to find solutions that are practical and actionable. And so just a last thought here on the security. We are pushing county staff to really be creative there. As Mandy mentioned, there's an operating reserve that the county administers in connection with the state, and we're doing everything we can to provide as much flexibility so that we can get additional funding secured there for that second security guard. We are going to draft, the supervisors are working on drafting a letter to state HCD, Housing Community Development, so that the state can provide additional flexibility as well, so that this operating reserve can really be flexible enough to meet the needs that we're seeing here at Windsor Pointe. Regarding supportive services, as I mentioned, we've increased up from 1 day a week to 5 days a week, and that all residents who want the services, additional services, can get the additional services. We just need them to accept it, and then we'll get those referrals across. And I think, without speaking to some specifics, I think there have been some referrals and connections on the site. So with that, I just want to reiterate that we're really committed in our office to working together with the city, with community members and the public, and all the partners here to help maintain safety in and around Windsor Pointe. Thank you.